Danger looms. Before you part with your hard-earned money, watch this video till the end. No doubt, real estate investment is about the safest investment at the moment. But unrepentant scammers have infiltrated the lucrative sector with greed and fraud. Today's alarm is on your favorite estate. An estate previously marked for demolition has been selling in Nigeria's capital city. This is the big story for today. Good day and welcome to Encumbered Properties Red Alert. On this show, we bring you details of encumbered properties, disputed properties and properties that are for any reason not available for sale. I am Rex Chinedu, Madueke, your host. A very popular estate to be marked for demolition in the Nigerian capital has been selling. As at the time of this report, reason for the threat of demolition is still unknown. Encumberedproperties.com gathered that even before the demolition notice, there is an existing court case between the developers of the estate, Portal Realties, and the FCDA authorities. Information available to us says most residents out of demolition concerns are eager to sell and recoup their money, but many of them are unable to do so due to unclear title. Encumberedproperties.com gathered that the said property remains allocated by the Abuja Municipal Area Council AMAC, which relevant authorities at the FCDA are not comfortable with, thereby making it impossible for the developers to get their papers and documents regularized or recognized. However, FCDA is the overriding authority in every property situated in the capital city of the country, Nigeria. With the hitch that the developer has encountered at the FCDA in getting his estate approved as allocated by the Abuja Municipal Area Council AMAC, subscribers are now under the threat of demolition. The property in question is Broadview Estate, situated in the Idu area of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Buyers are advised to stay away from that estate to avoid being victims of defective property title. Details of all encumbered properties, disputed properties, or properties that are for any reason not available for sale in your favorite cities across Nigeria are all enlisted on our platform, encumberedproperties.com. By visiting our website, you will get real-time notifications on that property you love so much. Get to know the status of that property before parting with your money to avoid wrong investment. At encumberedproperties.com, the safety of your real estate investment is safe. The good news is our services to the general public are free of charge. Let's seek an expert opinion from a property lawyer and a very senior police officer who is also a resident of the aforementioned estate. Let's get to understand the legal status of the estate and possible advice for unsuspecting victims who might be interested in investing here. Please come with me. Here we are. Please meet Mr. Madueke Enwere, the founder in Encumberedproperties.com, a property lawyer, also a very senior police officer. Guess what? He's one of the residents of the disputed estate. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Rex.
You know, this affects you personally, and I just want to, hear you share your perspective to this. I would want to know the legal implications of, investing in a property marked for demolition. In this instance, the developers are still selling off to unsuspecting victims. So what is the legal implications of, buying into a disputed property as this?
As a founder, Encumberedproperties.com, it looks a bit contradicting. Someone wouldn't have imagined myself being a victim of such circumstance. The truth is, before we got to where we are, we made several mistakes.
Right.
Yes, this is one of the properties we bought years ago when we never knew our left from our right.
Okay.
When we delved into property investment. So the experience we have garnered today, which also forms part of the basis of the platform encumberedproperties.com, which also fuels our passion towards making sure that people don't invest in vain or in circumstances where they will be under constant threat of ejection, eviction, or demolition. These are some of the things we have faced that has shaped and enriched our experience in talking to people on the best way to invest. Then, the difference between AMAC allocation and FCDA allocation was not very clear to me. And to be honest with you, I didn't do any search at all. So one of the messages this platform could pass to anybody at all is, if you are buying any property within the city of Abuja, even if it is covered by AMAC, the question is it recognized by FCDA?
Right.
If it is being allocated by FCDA, you can be sure that you are getting peace of mind. Why saying this? You know, FCDA is like a state where the overriding authority over land and lands allocation is resident in the governor. Now, when it has to do with landed property in FCT, Abuja, the governor of FCT is the minister of FCT.
Right.
And he has the overriding power to designate anywhere as an urban center. So anywhere that is being designated as an urban center comes under the control and the allocation of the governor. In Abuja, of the what? Minister. So the minister can wake up any day and decide that this particular location, district, despite being under the control of AMAC, is within the urban center, within the FCT. In other words, exclusively reserved for the allocation power of the minister himself. So the advice is always better, preferable to go for allocations or right of occupancy that is being given by FCDA. In that circumstance, there won't be any overriding authority that will say no, unlike putting AMAC RFO side by side with FCDA RFO.
Okay, I was thinking AMAC, after allocating the property, was supposed to forward for FCDA's recognition.
Well, that comes to the area of where they talk about regularization.
Okay.
Then, if, for instance, the property you are seeking to regularize or asking FCDA to approve for you as has been allocated by AMAC, if FCDA is not comfortable with the plan and purpose for which AMAC has allocated it to you,
well, they could review.
They have the right to review. They have the right to refuse.
Now,
and if they have better purpose or overriding public interest, they can as well decline recognizing or regularizing the papers presented by you.
Let's talk about the residents who are very much, at the center of this controversy.
Okay.
Who is in the right to file a lawsuit against the developer of this estate? The residents, the FCDA, or AMAC? Because in this case, some residents who never knew about this invested already in this estate, and with the mark of demolition, their investment is almost at the verge of collapse. So what do you say in this regard?
Well, if, for instance, the basis is this. before starting to sell or calling subscribers to buy, the developer was supposed to have gotten all his papers approved.
Very well. Very well.
You understand? So this issue of FCDA is not ready to recognize or regularize my documents. They were supposed to come before marketing the estate in the first place. But you see a situation where someone will get an allocation without getting the building approval for the building plan, getting all the requisite approvals from the relevant agencies. The person has already started marketing. In the course of time, there is one of the cases that will come to fore at the platform of encumberedproperties.com, where someone started marketing fully detached duplexes. According to him, by the end of the day, the approval he got was for terraces, and he had already collected money from people for fully detached duplexes. You know, so you find so many developers in this kind of greed, sharp practice, impatience. You know, by the end of the day, who bears the brunt?
The unsuspecting victims.
The unsuspecting victims, the subscribers. Let me shock you. One of the residents at Broadview Estate who bought from the estate was like asking one of the staff of the Portal Realities, why the demolition mark and all that. The person was like, the staff was like, why didn't you, was implying, why didn't you do your due diligence? Or did you do your due diligence before buying? So you can see this kind of arrogant response.
Sounds like a premeditated act.
Because they had taken advantage of probably those who were investing in landed property for the very first time, who never knew their rights from their left. You know, so that's why, irrespective of the fact that I invested in the estate, one of those estates I invested into when I was starting, you know, it's still the responsibility of encumberedproperties.com to let those who have not yet fallen victim to know that there is an issue here. Before you buy, whether directly from the developer or from anybody reselling a subscriber, know the facts surrounding the title so that you don't buy a defective title you won't be able to transfer. When you pack in, you come under the constant threat of demolition. Today they mark for demolition, tomorrow they have cleared it, and all that back and forth. There is no rest of mind for the residents, and nobody will want to make that kind of investment. That's why we are here to warn the members of the public about similar investments, similar estates, and similar properties anywhere found in the world.
Very well. This is more like an eye-opener. You know what I mean? I have learned a lot from this conversation, and I believe you watching, you've learned a lot from this conversation. Before you part with your money, before you invest in that estate of your choice, you need to first of all do due diligence, right? Carry out your investigations. Get to find out if that particular estate has gotten approval from the FCDA. Yes, AMAC might allocate a property, might allocate a plot to somebody, but the FCDA's approval is very important for your investment to be termed safe. Would you like to get updates on encumbered properties, disputed properties, or properties that are for any reason not available for sale? Are you wondering where to get detailed information about properties that are troubled in your city of interest? Then you are on the right path. With Encumberedproperties.com, your real estate investment is assured. Visit our website on www.encumberedproperties.com to stay updated. Follow us on our social media handles: Facebook at Encumbered Properties Limited, Instagram at Encumbered Properties Limited, to get real-time notifications on disputed properties across Nigerian cities, so you do not fall victim to avoidable circumstances. Till I come your way again, stay safe and stay out of troubled properties. I am Rex Chinedu, Madueke, thanking you for watching.